commented on Steel Leaf Champion and the number of mountains in our deck. So I think that's something a lot of people do incorrectly a lot of the time, which is look at your spells and then go, oh, this spell means you can't play this land. The thing we actually want to look at is how many green sources do we actually have to cast this triple green card? So that's the question I would like to ask. So this deck has 8 and 8 and 2. So this deck has 18 green sources in the mana base, and then it has 8 more green sources here. So there's 26 green sources in this deck. So looking at this deck and saying you can't play Steel Leaf Champion because you have 5 mountains in your mana base when we have 26 green sources is like saying Mono Blue can't play the Jhin because they only have 21 islands in their deck. So we actually have more green sources in this deck than Mono Blue has blue sources in their deck. And that's the way you really want to approach it. And that's not to say that we're not going to have hands where we have a mountain so we can't cast Steel Leaf immediately on time, but that is to say that statistically speaking, our mana is built in a way that playing the Steel Leaf Champion is fine. And I'm honestly, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I think that's something a lot of people don't explore enough. Speaking of exploring enough, I think I'm going to keep this on the draw. We're on the draw. I have an elf on 1, and I have a Merfolk Branchwalker to get an extra hit of land. They went to 5. Deal. Alright, that's not the red source I wanted for Christmas, but it's like better than missing, right? It means if they kill this, we still get to play Branchwalker next turn. I think I'd actually rather play this turn. Yeah, sure. Adventurous Impulse gives us more virtual copies of everything as well. Also very, very true. No blocks. More than EGH. I see a lot of people tuning in already. Thanks for hanging out. I know a lot of people are in and out on Twitch streams throughout the day. We're going to have a sponsored segment by Wizards later today. So a really easy way to support my content if you'd like to do that is make sure you tune in for the entirety of today's stream. The sponsored segments pay based on how many people are watching. So. Oh, my great googly moogly Apple Tunes. Thank you for the 12-month resubscription. I appreciate that. I knight thee, defender of the realm. Go forth and protect us from Twitch chat. I think I want to bin this. I think I want to just give myself the best possible chance to like Carnage next turn. It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to moderate. I'm doing all right. Life is swell. So these blue splash red white decks often have Disdainful Stroke in the main. This one does not appear to have it at the moment though. Smashy. This card's just been, like I said, I don't know if the Jund Dinos deck we've been playing is 100% optimal, but this card's been very impressive at it. Just very, very impressive. Big dumb dinos. Bum 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 bum. This dino's got haste. Smash, baby, smash. So they could double block here, but like that's fine, right? They're gonna give this indestructible, and then really they didn't give it indestructible. Okay. Deal. That seems like a good exchange for me. Do they have a sweeper here? I think they're in trouble regardless. But man, Hasty Barney is real good. Hasty Barney is quite good. That's fair. That's fair. Dungeon just doesn't really have text on the board. I agree with that. On the draw, I'm going to trim a couple of Steel Leaf Champions and bring in a couple extra Lava Coils, I think. Just be a little bit more reactive. On the play, I might switch this up. On the play, I might cut the Shocks and put the Steel Leaf Champions back in. Morning, Pythriad. Unfortunately, this is one land elf Merfolk Branchwalker, but it is a red source and not a forest, so need to mulligan. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. Timber Gorge. Let's do it, boys. Let's the old Timber Gorge. Maybe I'm supposed to leave the Steel Leaves in because just like a 5/4 is good against the Danto Vanguard. That's a very real possibility. Yeah, Jump deck seems sweet. It's got a cohesive game plan that's moderately powerful. I'm gonna bend that looking for some action, I think, here. Maybe it's right to keep it because I have this Carnage Tyrant, but I'm really just like looking for a... I'm really just looking for like a big dumb stupid to put into play, or a cheaper big dumb stupid, sorry. Like have multiple threats. Sure. So we'll Lava Coil this plus play Timber Gorge this turn. Fight with Fire is good insulation in case they have a Shalai or something else up next. Not blocking, must attack, same thing. They have like an Aurelia here. We'll take 5, yep. And then we get to untap, fight with Fire, plus play another tap land. Yeah, the next set is January. Yeah, our draw is not terrible at the moment. Because, like, remember, the Zidanto's annoying, but, like, we're kind of just racing it, right? And, like, eventually we're just going to be able to, like, point Lava Coils at it or block it, and they're not going to be able to afford to pay 4 life to keep it around. So, if they have just, like, 2, 3, 4, 5 with, like, a Lyra here, we're probably dead if we don't peel another Fight with Fire, but I feel like we're in an okay spot here, depending on how strong their leftovers are. Another Adanto is kind of scary. He's dead, Jim. Alright, Boros charm you. Yep. Yeah, I think I made a mistake in my sideboarding, and I should have left the Steel Leaf Champions in just because of how well they line up into a Danto Vanguard. Like, our archetype can't take this card off the table, but we can just, like, put bigger things in front of it inside of combat. So, put my Steel Leafs back in. I'm gonna cut the Shocks, I think. I think I want the Lava Coils, but I just shouldn't have cut these. Honestly, am I supposed to board this card in? Just as, like, a booty? What do we think of that? Is, like, Brontodon, like, trim a Carnage up top? I think that's not unreasonable. It's, like, big booties block. What's going on, Sandman? Welcome to folks. Thanks for coming in today. It's all about the big booties. Hedges Frenzy too. That's a good point. It also hedges like it hedges their random enchantment removal too, which is nice. My kingdom for a stomping ground. Land. Untapped land. Cool. Alright, at least we've got Bronte here. Thank goodness all of my go-to streamers have jumped to the artifact trade. Thank you for staying true to Arita. What's going on, Kason? Thanks for the bits. Yeah, I plan to do some regular artifact content, but I'm not planning to drop any of my Magic schedule. Like, I understand that, like, the reason why I'm here and the reason why I'm playing, I like playing Magic too, right? Like, but they're like 100% the reason why I'm able to make content like I do is because of my Magic community. So I'm not just here to like jump. I'm not jumping from hot thing to hot thing. I picked up Arena because I like playing Arena. Oh, that's a beating. All right, so we're taking 5 here. I guess we're not too far behind. Like, this is going to be a 5/5, and it's going to shoot one of these 2/2s this turn. So I get to play this, which triggers the Unsealing to kill this. Misfits Mavis, thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Ugh. Alright, really need to hit a land. If we hit a land, we should be in a pretty good spot. Perfect. Alright, so I get to do this. I get to do this. I get to unseal that one. 9 months in, only 3 more for that coveted year. Thank you, Pastor, for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. I appreciate that. Would you be willing to play a Grixis Dragons list that is red-black focused? And the RU one on your page, it seems like with a rougher mana base, the better value of removal would be good with. Yeah, possibly. I have to like it's hard for me to like say yes or no to deck lists in the abstract. I like need to see the details basically. That's really brutal because it locks me out of this other Regisaur Alpha. I think I'm obligated to block here. Brontodon. So I think I take a hit for 3 here because I want to be able to kick Fight with Fire if I draw an untapped land next turn. Oh, magic. I think that's gonna be all she wrote. You're my world down. I mean, I'm just giving you the honest truth. I play most things for 50 bucks. Not most modern things. Most modern things. Standard things. Other formats cost more. Yes, the extension is on. It claims to be working. Alright, we're dead. We're dead. Good chat. Pretty brutal. Pretty brutal excellence binding. Tough start to the morning. Thanks everyone for tuning in so far. Up to 400 people real quickly. Arena's great. Standard's great. Remember, if you enjoy my content, leave my stream on today for the entire day, or at least until about 1 or 2 o'clock Central Standard Time. We're gonna have a sponsored segment later, and the way the sponsored segment works, I get paid a little bit more based on the viewer count. So, really easy way to support my content is staying for that. Hey, Alias with the host. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Welcome to folks coming over from their channel. I believe they were doing their podcast this morning. Hope you had a good one. We're hanging out playing some Standard on Arena. We're just getting started here, so I've been live for about 15 minutes. We'll be going for another 4 or 5 hours yet. It's fine. It's a little, it's a touch awkward, like we talked about with Steel Leaf Champion. Like, this is like a dual land, but it's not a dual land because we have to choose between red or green here. So, like, we have to choose between Fight with Fire or Steel Leaf Champion. What do you think of Twilight Prophet as a source of card advantage and life gain in fairies? That's interesting. That's the one that with the city's blessing, right? That's the standard card. Standard is great. Hope we can say that in a year's time. Yeah, hopefully. Honestly, though, it was funny. I was talking to some folks, like, you know, I talk about like my content and future and stuff. I was like, I just need them to keep Standard really good until next October at the very least, because by next October we'll have a new non-rotating format hopefully, and then I could play that on Arena if Standard sucks. I just want to be able to play Arena. So now I have to pick, do I want Fight with Fire or Steel Leaf Champion? I probably would rather have Steel Leaf Champion. I guess they're the Drake deck, which makes Fight with Fire more appealing. I'm gonna go with the Forest here, because beating them down is pretty appealing. I mean, not every rare can cost $800. And you have to realize, like, they spoil the expensive cards first to get people hyped about the set. That's a bird. Perfect. Fantastical. So this card doesn't look like fixing, but in reality, it's pseudo-fixing, right? Like, it helps us find our lands more consistently. You got 2 Fight with Fire here, so like, if they don't have Lava Coil and they didn't last turn, this card backed up by Fight with Fire to mow down Drakes puts us in a pretty good spot. So I feel like when you're playing these kind of mid-rangey decks against the Drake decks, you're basically just playing what I always refer to as a kill all the things deck. You just want to make sure you keep every threat they have off the table, so that way they can't pressure you, and then you can kill them with anything. And 5/4 is a pretty good anything to be killing them with. No, there won't be a secondary market. Actually, honestly, it's going to be arguably cheaper to get... Like, if Modern existed on Magic Arena, it would be cheaper to build Modern decks on Magic Arena, most likely, than it would be on Magic Online and in paper. Just because of how the wildcard system works. It was really good Mana Tithe. Like, just easily one of the best leagues I've ever played with the deck. Not close. Alright, so I get to hit with this, and then, like... I've got this, so like don't Drake Velocity me next turn. We could die next turn. They could go Crackling Drake, kick it, and punch us in the face here. But I think it's right to put both these in play and just make them have it. Like they're already through 2 Crackling Drakes, and some of these decks don't even play 4 of the Enigma Drake. Am I dead? I am unfortunately dead. It's like Xaxes too, right? Because this is gonna kick up to 8. Yep. Well played by the opponent there. I think it's right to do that. Not sure if I'm using my practice card right. I don't know which end to use. What's going on, Green Sky? Thanks for the 7 months. Welcome back. Definitely an extra Lava Coil matchup. Sarkhan's Unsealing is actually pretty good here. Shock seems a little bit mediocre. Is that all I'm doing? I think so. I think so. Run it. The Drake deck is very good. Nah, you just die. You just die, UPC. Just hope they don't have it. No consideration for Scavenger to exile the birds. Yeah, that'd probably be okay. See, it needs a red source, but it's pretty good otherwise. It's got turn 3 Steel Leaf on the play. Now, the ladder's still busted. They did a bunch of improvements in terms of how fast the game's played. They sped up a lot of the animation with a couple of their good little fixes, but the ladder is currently still busted. And the fact this is 4 damage to any target just seems so incredibly good. I don't know if this is the deck for it, but it feels like there's got to be a deck for this card somewhere. Just like stapling an extra thing onto it. Every big creature you play is pretty great. This one do sacrifice it like a top 5 cards in your library, reveal a creature card. It's not bad. These Memorials have really surprised me as far as how powerful they are in terms of utility lands. Alright, mountain please. Gee, chat, do you think this deck would be better with Stomping Ground? To be fair, this deck has a lot of tap lines in it, right? It's just like the nature of the beast of playing these colors right now. That's kind of how it goes. It's what you're signing up for. Hey, the K-Law. Thank you for the brand new Prime support. Hope you're having a good day wherever you're at. Thanks for supporting my content here with that. Wow, no birds. Okay, no birds is great for us. I wonder how many dive downs they have in hand. All the dive downs. Throw these towards Teamer Ramp because I want to see it sooner. Will do, Foxicon. Thank you for the biddies. As always, for every 100 bits you cheer, $1 you donate, you're welcome to bump a deck in the queue. People that support my content dictate what we do and when we do it because they're great. There are 2 birds in here. Yeah, we were super dead. I definitely should have put the Deathgorge Scavengers in here. So we're taking 13 here. I'm having trouble beating Jeskai control as Boris. No, the Jeskai control. Oh, this guy could actually. I could actually kick this. So I'm like not dead on board. No, the Jeskai control matchup's just rancid for anything Boros basically. They're bigger than you and have a bunch of sweepers and stuff. There's a good chance we're still dead, but that felt good. Yeah. I just have to like play 3 spells, then I have like 2 radical ideas. It's feeling like, so decks like this that have a lot of these bigger creatures and these accelerants in them, it's feeling like they often feel like they're a little bit clunky. And then when you combine that inherent clunkiness, that these ramp style decks have with the fact that we're forced to play cards like Evolving Wilds and Timberland Gorge because we lack Stomping Ground currently, I think we might just be a little bit too clunky to be competitive. Yeah, the next set is guaranteed to have the other 5 shocks in it. Yeah, like not only will this deck get Stomping Ground in the next set, but it's also going to get Stomping Ground, but it's also gonna get likely gonna get good Gruul cards to play, right? Like it's not just gonna get better mana, it's gonna get better tools as well. Alright, I think we're gonna kill that one with fire. Since all of our removal is red, we have a very small window to kill a card like this, because like if they Jade Light Ranger next turn, it's like out of range of most of our removal already, so just like blast that one out of here. Perfect. Good decision was good. Huh. So I could Steel Leaf this turn. I could guarantee to have Regisaur Alpha next. I think I'm gonna Steel Leaf. I could probably race here. If I just like hit an untapped land next turn, I could play the Regisaurus regardless. Is he dead, Jim? You need to use Wine Staging, Hider. Non-wine staging is gonna have some issues. I'm actually gonna leave back my friendo here so that way we can trade the 3/3 for the 4/3 if they attack. Seems profitable for us. I'd rather not trade my 4/4. And also, like, if they have another removal spell, they could kill Regisaur Alpha reasonably, and I'd prefer not to take another hit here. Regisaur, sure. Like most words, I don't pronounce them correctly. Mr. Missouri, thank you for the 8-month resub. I appreciate it. Welcome back. This one is an Elf Knight. It's riding a dinosaur, but it does not actually a dinosaur, so it does not have haste. Actually, it's riding a Kavu, right? Kavus are kind of like dinosaurs. Kavus are like the dinosaurs we had in Magic when I was a child. You do, in fact, have a Doom Blade. My brain just adds letters to words when I read them quickly, if I'm not paying really careful attention. And there's so many Magic cards that I read every day that just, like, I skim through them very quickly a lot of the time. Ooh, that's a good one. So, next turn, if we get to keep this, we get to kick this, shoot one, fight the other, punch for 8. They go land Vivian, they'll make us incredibly sad. That's a tapped land. Oh, wait. I can Sarkhan Unsealing and do this, right? Rude. Rude.
Out of here.
Did I miss the donation? I might have missed the donation. There's a big donation. Sorry, I'm bad at things. Love your content. Just got home from work. Can't wait to see the pet deck I've been working on. Thank you for the support, the Raiden Project. I need to set some kind of... stuff up. Thank you, Cool Cruise. Your Abs and Midrange deck will be up second today after we finish up with the dinosaur deck. Thank you for the support. Ah! Alright, so now we just kick this. We fight one. We smash both of these into Vivian so she dies. Probably see a trade here.
So it's going to be like that.
What do I do with the $100? I pay my bills with them. Put it towards the down payment on a new house. Christine, I actually put an offer in on a new place last night, so it's exciting. Use it to feed Decklid. That's true. It takes a lot of $100 bills to feed Decklid. Alright, all in. Their only sweeper in this deck is usually Finality, and the only other one they could have is Ritual Set. So, pushing all of our chips into the table here makes sense. Do they take bit? They do. They do. Bits are actually easier to turn into real money than Bitcoin. Bits directly turn into real money. Bitcoin, you have to like jump through some hoops and like sacrifice a small goat. Well, 2 can play the more Carnage Tyrant game. Unfortunately, they have a Memorial to Folly here, which is going to pick a dumb dino back up out of their bin. That's really unfortunate, because it means they get to pick up. That's just, like, perfect for them, because they get to pick up a card this turn. Okay, so we get to punch their thing in the face. We got that going for us. We get to punch this, then we get to hit them for 7. They're going down to 16. I punch that pre-combat because this way if they trade Carnage Tyrants, they don't get to draw a card from their Carnage Tyrant dying. Yeah, if Domri came back, this deck would probably be extra great. Wow, that's... Huh. So, we're actually in an okay spot here, right? Because with that hit, it means even if they pick up Carnage Tyrant, they're actually dead on board, right? Like, if they just play Carnage Tyrant next turn, they're like... Well, I guess they're not quite dead on board. They can go block this, and they take 1, 6, 7, 8. So we're 1 off of lethal right now. Fight with fire. Fight with fire. Fight with fire. Tilt. All right, so do I... So I can trade here, give this up, and put them to 1. I think that's worth doing. The face is the place, chat. All right, D.O.B. Welcome to my new single, D.O.B. Yeah, they need 2 more blockers. They need a finality. That's sure. Contempt would do it. Then you get to exile this and go to 3. Good call.
I've seen things that would break someone like you.
Yeah, they had a lot of good ones there, didn't they? All right. That was... None of those were their good ones. Boop. Boop. Just boop him on the nose. All right, so what am I doing here? Scavenger's great in this matchup. Lava Coil, they showed me Walkers, so Lava Coil's good. Extra big dumb dino. I think Steel Leaf Champion actually leaves a bit to be desired here. It, like, trades with their stupid... It doesn't attack profitably into their Carnage Tyrants. It trades with their Jade Light Rangers for occasion. Do I want Spyglass for Vivian? Yeah, I guess 1 Spyglass is probably fine. What am I trimming? I need to cut some things. Shock seems a little bit mediocre. Like, what am I cutting, chat? So again, if you want to make suggestions, you should suggest things that we have to trim. Like, I'm already struggling to, like, get down to 60 here. So, like, these cards all seem reasonable, but, like, what are they better than that I already have in my main deck here? Remember, sideboarding's not just about bringing in good cards. It's about building the best 60-card deck with the 75 cards that you have in front of you. You want to cut the Unsealings? I guess. Yeah, maybe I just leave all the threats in. Yeah, let's do that. So, 1, 2, 3. It's just elementary. What could it be? Give Poppy a forest. That'll do. That'll do, pig. So we've got a lot of kicker cards in this deck. We've got like 7 kicker cards in our main, so I think Elfhame's pretty reasonable. Like, we've got both Fight with Fire and the what's it called? So we're just gonna name Vivian with this. Our stuff's about to die, chat. Our stuff's about to die. Nah, that's really narrow, Jekyll Girl. Like, the payoff on that card is incredibly low for what it does. Cast me down, baby. Don't cast me down. Ooh, don't cast me down. You know what's great against a handful of Doomblades? Big Dumb Dino. Big Dumb Dino, the real MVP. I think I'm playing Pirates at the Invitational, but there's probably, if I was smart, instead of wanting to have fun, I should probably register 4 Carnage Tyrants. This card just messes people up. Roar! He's so angry. I mean, drawing lands isn't even bad here, right? Just like, I'm like 1 land away from the, like, next turn, I get to just like kick it. Now this is gonna die. There's no way this isn't dead. They've got like, they're all dolled up with nowhere to go with all these removal spells. You just like clean 20 in hand. I don't even need this Carnage Tyrant. Nice Doomblades. They just trophy my Spyglass? Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. All right, deal. In. I mean, they must have Vivian, right? It's the only reason to do that. Ready to kick it, chat? Ready to kick it? Kick it. Do 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 do. Bow do do. Bow bow. Can we kick it? Yes, you can. 7-year-old on my lap while playing Arena, showing her the white weenie deck. Play Lyra, she asks, what does that card do? The opponent scoops after Lyra hits the table. That's what Lyra does. She makes mono red players concede. Yup, you're not wrong, friendo. You're not wrong. So, had a little bit of a tough time against the aggressive deck so far, which I think makes sense based on how clunky some of our draws can be. Seems really good. Like casual turn 3 Regi. I think this deck needs 4 Unsealing. Probably not. Unsealing's a card that doesn't impact the board on its own. And if you have 1 Unsealing out, you're probably winning the game. So, like, why do you need a second? I'm doing well, Phil. Life is swell. Yes, it's currently 8:40 cornfield time. A dual land so bad you just want to play basics? No, I don't think so. I think you need to be able to cast your spells. Untapped land. Untapped land. Untapped land. I think I need to just kill this. Again, just generally want to kill other things in a matchup like this. Where was I a morning person before I had kids? I was not. I was up till 2, 3, 4 a.m. type person for sure. In fact, the first class I took that started before 10:30 in the morning in college was my last semester of grad school, and that was because I had to take a class then. Rawr, rawr. Yeah, we lovingly refer to 6:30 a.m. as Declan O'Clock in my house, because that's about the time he pops into my bedroom in the morning. Yeah, in fact, if you read my elf primer on coolstuffinc.com, there's a full budget list in there, which includes budget replacements for things like Elfhame Palace. So I don't normally focus on budget style stuff, but Elves is a deck to where like you can budget reasonably and still have it be very competitive, so I've got a list in there. Right, if we hit an untapped land here, we actually get to kick Bite with Fire, right? Yeah, Guiltleaf Palace is like 40 bucks. God, these temples, chat. These temples are just... This is 5, 6, 7. I was 1 off, right? I only have 5, 6, 7, 8. I was 1 off anyways. Yeah, they're 40 a piece, Pike. Alright, so not getting Drake plus Velocity. So we have a chance. I feel like that can't be the case, Pike. Like, that's so wild to me. There's no way they can't be that much cheaper, right? Because if they were that much cheaper, I know how much international shipping costs on things. Like, if they were actually half the price, like, international shipping means it's still cheaper. Sure, euros are more expensive, though, right? So, like, 45 EU to USD is... No, I guess the euro's really close to the dollar now, huh? The euro is actually pretty close. I'm used to it being much further away from the price of the dollar. Man, we're just like super dead, huh? They have like a third bird in their bin. No, they don't have a third bird? Oh, they do. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I think it's just this. And then like crack this to find something to trigger Unsealing next turn. So they couldn't bring back their... the 10 to the face isn't an option. That costs 9. I didn't have 9. I think I just do this. And then I plan to crack Memorial. And then hope to find something to trigger Unsealing. We're dead if they can bring all their Phoenixes back. So I just like have to hope they can't. And that lets them bring all their Phoenixes back. I couldn't play the elf and activate my Memorial, which is what I needed to do there. So I couldn't do both. Am I still planning on playing Artifact for a big chunk of my streaming time? I've done Artifact streams last night and the night before. You can find those on my YouTube channel. I'm planning to do more Artifact this evening. I am not intending to replace my Magic streaming time with my Artifact streaming time. So far in my experience, the Artifact content doesn't seem to be particularly popular, so I don't know that I'm going to be doing too much of it, but the game's fun. I've been enjoying playing Artifact, so I'm probably going to be streaming some of it consistently, but if there's not a demand for it, I'm not going to be streaming a ton of it, no. The response to the YouTube archives for it has been pretty medium, and the viewer count numbers have been pretty bad, like worse than Modern even, so... I mean, there's often there's often a lot of streamers for Magic too. And that's fine. Like, there's the excuses and the whys don't matter. Like, the only thing that matters to me as a content producer is that, like, what the actual end result is, right? So, like, if there's not a demand for it or it's saturated or whatever reason there's not a demand for it, I won't be doing it if there's not a demand for it. If I find myself enjoying the game, I will probably stream it a little bit because I'm going to play it anyways if I like it, but it won't be something that I'm doing like 20 hours a week of if there's no demand for it. The tough getting used to lanes Artifact. It really isn't. And it's, I was worried about it being too difficult or like annoying to play, and once I actually had it in my hands, it was pretty easy to work with. So I think once people are able to actually play it, it'll be a lot easier for folks to follow. I think that's true of most card games, right? Like, I think even like as someone, for people that don't know, I learned Hearthstone for the first time this year. I'd never really played it before earlier this year, and even that game, like, people talk about Hearthstone being this super easy, incredibly fantastic game to follow. I think that's kind of nonsense. It's basically impossible to follow any card game if you don't understand what's going on and what the cards do. They just all suck for it. It's just a nature of the genre. How do you feel about Alpine Moon and Grixis Shadow to help against Tron? Alpine Moon's fine. If you really want to beat Tron and Valakut, Alpine Moon's a fine card to do that. Yeah, exactly. Like, the people like to talk about, like, you can make these things super easy to do because, like, Hearthstone did it. The reason why Hearthstone is so popular in terms of content is because there's 100 million people who play it. Hearthstone's not more intuitive to watch on a stream than any of these other games. You just get to watch. It's just, you could watch it. You could watch it because there's a bunch of people that know what the cards do. Sure, you can tell who's ahead by a little bit. I didn't say that, but like following what's actually going on 100% and like knowing why they're making the plays and what they're doing, you can watch things smash into each other. I didn't say you couldn't do that. I said knowing what's actually going on and why they're making the plays they're making is impossible without knowing what the cards do. You're not saying Hearthstone is as nuanced and complicated as Magic, though. No, I don't think Hearthstone has the same complexity as Magic. I didn't say that. I'm just saying, like Magic, you can't just pick up and follow Hearthstone without knowing what the cards do. Just like you can't pick up and follow Artifact without knowing what the cards do. What would you recommend to replace Liliana's in red-black mid-range? I have no idea. Liliana's a pretty unique and specific card that's really powerful. Yeah, overlays that tell people, let people mouse over and see what the cards do, they help with that issue a very significant amount. Not only just Arena being fun to watch in terms of being a video game, but the Deckmaster as well goes a long way towards making Arena more accessible to new players, because overlays like what Arena has make the game easier to pick up. They speed up the process of letting you know what's going on, basically. So opponent actually made a small mistake there. They shocked my thing when they didn't have to shock my thing, because shock was going to kick this to 5 power anyway, so there was no reason for them to do that necessarily. Hasty dinos, dum 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 dum. Yeah, but sure, I agree that you could understand the basics, but understanding the basics doesn't, you're dancing around the point I'm making, which you're like, you're not saying my point's wrong, but you're like making all these other little details that are just like completely irrelevant. You need to know more than the basics of a game to be able to follow what's going on. Like, you could teach someone how to play Magic with starter decks, and they wouldn't be able to follow necessarily why I'm doing the things I'm doing without being able to read the cards that I have and understand what they do. I understand Hearthstone. I've played, a couple hundred hours of Hearthstone at this point. But if I turned on a stream now with the new set that they have, I don't know what a lot of the cards do. I don't know what a lot of the decision-making processes are surrounding them. And like, that's not inherent to Magic or Hearthstone or Artifact. It's just like inherent of the genre of card games. No. So the actual solution to making Magic coverage more accessible is that you just need it to be digital. You don't need super high def cameras and all this other nonsense for paper. Paper content is inherently inaccessible, clunky, and awkward, and digital is hopefully the future of Magic for competitive stuff. That's true of every game, though. That's not specific to Hearthstone, Dizzy Drone. I like the streamer, so I'm watching regardless of what they're playing. It's something that happens in literally every game. I am really hoping that the December 6th announcement from Wizards of the Coast regarding organized play has to do with Magic Arena being involved in Magic organized play. If they're smart, that's what they're going to be working towards. Forest. Tilt. All right, that was like, as far as like non-land draws went there, that was towards the top. Thanks everyone for hanging out this morning, by the way. Welcome. We're up to 900 people already before 9 a.m. So we like already have more people watching for today than we had yesterday. Yeah, what a tilt. Could we have drawn those removal spells in like the reverse order, please? I think we're just done. No, I mean like the Pro Tour Danon. I mean, put actual Magic tournaments on Arena. The reason why there's never been a push to have actual Magic tournaments on Magic Online is Magic Online's a steaming pile of donkey poop. And they're like aware of that. Okay, I'm gonna try one more. Nah, I'm gonna be done with this. Let's get to some more decks today. This is so this decks like this have an inherent clunkiness to them. Having this many 4+ mana spells, especially when you're trying to rely on these ramp cards that die a lot of the time against a lot of the efficient decks in this format, means that you're gonna have a lot of hands where you just don't get to cast your cards and you die with too many expensive things in your hand. Then you take that subset of games and you overlap it with the subset of games where your mana is awkward because you have Timberland Gorge and Evolving Wilds in your deck, and you just get so many games where you basically just don't really get to play Magic because your deck just doesn't function, that it's just not worthwhile. I think if I was going to try this again before Stomping Ground hit with the next set, I would definitely cut this Memorial to Unity. I think these tapped lands are necessary just to like be able to cast your spells consistently, but having this extra tap land to try and get some utility out of your mana base and like introducing another card that's going to slow you down and mess up your tempo seems really, really bad.